Well, it's actually a Saturday morning and I'm off on a walk. I'm going to get as many miles in as I can. It's lovely scenery, look. I've just come over this sty. Lovely, isn't it? I had intended to come out on Friday afternoon, do a short walk camp and then set off this morning for the second night. But events happened and I couldn't get away. So I've set off early Saturday morning instead. So I've got a full day to explore and walk. And then I'll pitch up, have a camp, and then do a long walk back tomorrow. Looking forward to it. It's a lovely wind-free walk in this morning. It's a nice mist up on the high tops, look. Low cloud. Looks like they've been doing a lot of logging. A lot of trees missing. It's lovely, isn't it? I think this is amongst the best stacked logs I've seen. They've really put a lot of work into stacking these, and the smell is tremendous. It's amazing, isn't it, how they've stacked them? Cold, my hands are freezing. I might stop and put my gloves on. They've certainly put some thought into stacking these, look, haven't they? The way they've, and they're even on logs on the bottom as well, to facilitate picking them up. We must have reached that point in Northumberland where all the trees are due to be felled of a certain age. It's either that or all the recent storms. They're thinking they'll get the wood before it goes rotten. That's probably what it is, isn't it? Last time I explored this valley, I camped on that hill just there. Just up there. On an old forestry track, didn't I? And I climbed straight up the side. It was a killer. Then when I come out of the wood, there was a mountain bike track I followed. And it was cold. I mean, there's still snow lying about up here. Beautiful views though, aren't they? Absolutely tremendous, look. I'm loving it. Loads of fresh devastation up here from the latest storms as well. All fresh trees come down, look, on top of the ones that were already down. It's mad, isn't it? A lot of these were from last year, but there's a lot of new ones as well. It's very atmospheric. You've got the sun keeps popping behind the clouds. You've got all the mist on the hills, it's lovely. There's a load of hills over there you could camp on without any growth. It's lovely. I'm not going to go into the names of them. But it's been a smashing walk, this. I'm about halfway, I think. Plenty of snow up here. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The views are just amazing, aren't they? Absolutely beautiful. Temperature's really dropped in this bit, and you can see because there's still plenty of ice. I'll have a look on my map which way I'm going to go. Right, there's actually a path somewhere on the left hand side I'm looking for. It's probably never been used. It's on the map. I can't see it. Have a look. There's a dip, there's a gap there. That's an old fence post, isn't it? I don't know where it is. There's definitely a bridle path on the left. Oh dear. I might just have to pick my way through and try and pick it up off the map because I can't see it anywhere. So the path I'm looking for is actually here. This is your bridle path. I mean, I don't know what's happened to the start of it. There's no finger posts, but we'll climb up here and have a look. It's quite desolated and nice, but it's very treacherous walking. If this deep snow was still here, you've got these big drop-offs where you break your leg all along here. Look, it's a great big drop-off. You just got to be very careful, haven't you? It's very remote still. I should be picking up a valley soon over here. But you've got to laugh. I was just saying before, you've got to watch where you're walking. I was poking my pole in those holes on my right. And I was doing that, then I stepped on a bit of snow and there was a hole on the other side and I was down to my knee with my left leg. Luckily, the water in the bottom of the hole only come up to the top of the boot, so I just got the top of the socks wet. That was lucky. But I've got plenty of spare gear with me anyway, socks and everything. I've even got waterproof socks in the bag, so if my boots get sodden. Really enjoying this walk. Probably one of the hardest ones I've done in a while. But I haven't seen a soul. It's absolutely fantastic. When I was heading towards Alwynton, it had road closed and there was a couple of like farm vehicle, worker vehicles, and they just ignored the sign and they went through. Then we come to some red traffic lights and they ignored them as well, so I was following them. And sure enough, the lights were on red at both ends and the workers were just getting ready to start work, so God only knows how I'm going to get back. Obviously first thing in the morning, the workers, the road workers, might be letting the locals through. There's clearly a sign that says the road to Alwynton is closed till the 22nd of, from the 22nd of January, closed for 2 weeks. And it looked like the diversion was all the way up to Glanton, which is ridiculous. But we'll see. We'll see what it's like tomorrow. We'll enjoy the walk and worry about the roads later. See you later. I'm on the right route for sure, because there's your finger post, but when you turn round, there's just no path, it's just bog. Sun's out. It's just bog and tussocks. Anyway, let's keep going. The valley looks like it's in the sun down there, look. Snow on the hills up there. So we've come down a little used path from up there and we're going to go up that valley over there. We're going up that valley over there. And we're just coming down here now, down to a farm. Beautiful though, isn't it, the weather? I'm very lucky today. Very lucky. Nice sound of running water now. I'm coming over a nice bridge. There's loads of little trout in there, isn't there? Nice. Let's see where we're going now. What a beautiful day, the sun's out. Beautiful location, and we've come to a waterfall. That's beautiful, isn't it? I'm not going in there today, it's too frigging cold. Not really anywhere to camp here. It's a bit lot of molehills and that. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. Tremendous spot, isn't it? I suppose you could pitch there, but it's a bit bumpy. A lovely day. A beautiful valley like this. And look, people just can't come and enjoy it, can they? I love it. Beautiful. Well, I've just stopped for my dinner. I've got my cooker on the go, and I'm just airing my feet as well. I'm going to change my socks because they're quite wet. I found a nice spot out the wind, so I'm just going to enjoy my dinner. Water's nearly boiled, so I'll catch you in a bit. Right, we've come from up that valley, the other side of the farm. Now we're going to pick our way up here, the way we came. Hopefully when I get up on the top, I'll find some trees and I'll get a camp out of the wind. That's what I fancy. Right, I've come off the main path now. I left the waterfall and I decided to walk part of the way back because I'm trying to get the fitness up and that. So I did 8 miles to the waterfall and I've done 4.5 miles coming back. And I've just come off the track and I found this nice little bit of open grass. It's got a bit of a view, look. Not much of a view, but it's not bad. It hasn't got much of a view, but if you come and stand here, look, you can see a bit of the hillside. That's not bad, is it? Oh, I like to be tucked away as well, so I'm gonna pitch up here. I've been sent this solitary shelter from one winter test. We'll have a quick look at it now while I've got the rucksack on, because it's not just a shelter, it's a cape as well. So we'll have a quick look. Comes in a nice bag. Right, so that's in cape mode, that is, and you can see it'll cover your rucksack and everything. What I thought was, if you're on a push bike and you're bike packing, you could be on a bike and this would actually cover the whole bike. Be perfect on a bike, absolutely perfect. It's amazing. So we'll have a look at it as a shelter anyway. Right, so I come in through there, I picked my way off the main path and there's a nice open bit of space here and I've pitched the one wind solitary shelter. That's going to be my camp for the night. It's just a full 2 metres long inside. There's 3 pegs along the back. You can have 3 either side as well, and you use a walking pole and 1 guy line. Oh look, there's a brew made, there's a surprise. It's a cape as well, but we'll have a look at that later. 3 pegs along this side. It's a bit uneven because I've got the rucksack shoved in, but that's the MLD Event Sole Bivy, full stretch in there, and it fits. I think if I was just on a mat and a sleeping bag, I would get wet head and feet, but if you're in the bivvy, it doesn't matter. That's nice, isn't it? Nice little shelter. And my views, not much of a view really. I can just see the top of the hill, but it's a nice open space. Considering I'm in a forest and it's just a lot of hard paths and no access, I was nice, you know, I was lucky to find a spot like this. There's running water just down there as well because I've got my filter. Sun's out, lovely, isn't it? Hey, it's a nice little small shelter, isn't it? Quite impressed with that. I'm glad they asked me to test it, but you'll see the full video on it. I've done it separate. Smashing little shelter. Hello there. It's nearly 10 o'clock. I'll be getting my head down soon. I've watched a load of Paramount downloads. and a couple of videos on YouTube I've watched. Had a few brews, had me tea. I'm liking this shelter. There's plenty enough space. I've had to peg the top of the bivvy because it was sliding down because I'm on a bit of a slope. It's not a very good pitch, to be honest. It's a bit of a slope, but you never get a good pitch where I camp. I like being out the way. But I'll tell you what, I did 8 miles today to that waterfall, and I thought, let's see how fit I am. So I did another 5 miles coming back across a different path, part way back to the car. I've got about 4 miles to do tomorrow, and my legs are killing me. I'm 63 in March, and I'm thinking if I took on too much planning this big walk in Scotland. But I'll have to give it a go. But honestly, I'm knackered. But all I can think is I'm going to have to walk like 5 or 6 miles every day, even if it's without a rucksack and that, you know, get the dogs out, do extra walks, get myself, see if I can force the legs into not getting tired. It's crap when you get old, it really is. You think you're fitter than you are. But, you know, could be my only chance to do a long distance path. So I'm going to have to give it a go, even if it kills me. But it's mad. I normally just, I get my stuff on my back and I just go for it, and then I pay the price the next day. So although I can do it, whether I can do it every day over and over is another question, but I'm going to give it a go. I've got to. I really want to do it. Another question. I've actually been thinking about being a traitor to the bivvy, because of the condensation issues and everything that you can get. So I'm thinking, should I take a tent? But I haven't got a lightweight tent anyway. The lightest tent I've got is the Vango F1, which isn't big enough, but I've got the F2. That's about 1,300 grams stripped down. But the bivvy's 400, the Trail Star's 520, and a ground sheet. So probably about the same anyway. But I mean, can I bring myself to not tarp and bivy? Because I am a tarp and bivy camper. I can't stand tents. I suppose under the Trail Star with the bivy, because you're fully protected from condensation, you don't get any damp in your bivy under the Trail Star. I could probably even sleep just on the mat. The only other drawback, I like being on my own out the way. Where you pitch on these trails, you might have other people, especially when you have to stop on a campsite and that. So you'll have people gawping in because you haven't got a door, have you? But I suppose I could live with that. I'll have to have a good think. I mean, I've got to complete it if I started. Well, the part I'm doing anyway. So I'll have to have a good think. But anyway, I'm going to sleep now. I'll have another brew, I think. Then I'll go to sleep. I've got all my stuff out by the side of me. My cooker's down there. I've had a few comments off the military lads saying, put all the stuff, like keep the stuff tidy in the rucksack. Well, you should do, I know, but I'll do my best, honestly, lads, but it's work in progress. I've actually got a fair bit stashed in the rucksack tonight, all my clothes. There's nothing shoved in the bivvy. The only things that out, really, is water, some coffee and some tea bags. That's all that's out. So I'm getting there. So we'll see you in the morning. Good morning. I've just woke up 7:15. Had a good sleep. Been sliding down terribly in the night. Look, it's so there's all this space at the top, so my feet have been popping under the end of the tarp. But it doesn't matter because I'm in the bivvy. But I couldn't find a flat spot, so I just found the best I could. I suppose I should have lay in the bivvy and the air mat to see if it was going to slide before I put the tarp up. That would have been the best idea. I'm just doing my porridge, and there's my porridge dehydrating, and I'm just brewing up. It's a nice little shelter. There's no condensation in the bivvy at all. Sleeping bag's bone dry. So when you're under the shelter, you see, the cold air can't land on the bivvy and do that transfer of heat. So I think if you're going to enjoy tarps and bivvies, you really need to consider if you're going to enjoy a bivvy, you need to consider a small tarp just to cover it up in the cold weather. Stops all the condensation. Obviously, unless you're using the Gore-Tex ones, it doesn't really seem to matter much then. Right, I'm going to have my breakfast and we'll come back. Leave no trace as always, just a flat spot there. It doesn't look that sloped, does it? But it actually was. It's quite a nice morning to walk out. I'll have a look when I get outside. Nice sky. There we go. There we go. A Northumberland sunrise. For some reason my phone keeps hunting for focus. That's beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely beautiful. What a lovely morning to walk out. That's amazing, isn't it? A lovely sunrise. Had a great camp, really enjoyed it. It's a smashing little shelter, that one wind one. It's only 2 metres though, so I couldn't use it with just a sleeping pad and a sleeping bag because my feet and my head would be touching. But in a bivvy, it's fine. Obviously you need a flat pitch so you're not sloping and sliding like I was. But really enjoyed it. I like the fact you can just throw it over you if the rain comes and you haven't got to keep getting waterproofs out. But could it replace, your normal tarp and waterproofs? It couldn't, could it? So it's a bit of a gimmick really, but it's a good gimmick. For somebody just venturing into the outdoors, they don't want to buy too much gear. They could buy one of them and it does them as a coat and a shelter. Well, then you've got the problem of pitching if it's raining, because you'd have to take it off to make the shelter. So it's an odd one, isn't it? Anyway, I should be out next weekend, weather depending. I'm not gonna, if it's pouring with rain, I don't normally bother, but after next weekend, it could be a good while till I'm out again. Because the wife's got an operation early February and could be a long recovery, so I'm going to have to be in the house looking after the kids and doing whatever. So I don't actually know when I'll camp again after next weekend, so I'll have to wait and see. Well, I can't believe this walk out this morning. It's lovely. Plenty of snow up on the tops, isn't there? There's a right frost in the night, so it might have even snowed a bit. Beautiful. There's the sun, look at that. What a beautiful morning. What a beautiful morning. Well, I'm nearly back at the car now. It's been a great camp. I was lying in the bivvy last night thinking I weren't up to it and my legs were tired, but this morning they don't feel any different to they did yesterday, so that's a good thing. I'm walking no bother. Like I say, when I'm not out camping, I'm going to do extra long dog walks just to make sure the legs stop supple. So I've had 15 kilo on my back going in yesterday and 12 kilo coming out, because obviously I've used the water. I couldn't find any water where I was camped. Well, not that I could get my hands in easy enough to fill my containers. It was too cold to dip them in icy water. So I hope you've enjoyed the camp. Please like, subscribe and leave a comment. And for all the people that say it's better to stuff the sleeping bag in the rucksack, I did that this camp, it was fine. It was actually worked great. But when you're packing up and all your stuff's damp, where can you put your sleeping bag if you don't want to put it in the rucksack first? I like to put some heavier stuff in the bottom of the rucksack and then the sleeping bag. I suppose if you're going to do it that way, you're going to have to modify how you pack, and the sleeping bag's always going to have to go in first. It's a bit of a nuisance, I think, but I'll persevere. So I'll please leave a comment if you've got anything to add, and I'll see you on the next camp. Goodbye.